What's going on? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the industry's most wanted podcast. I have a special guest checking in tonight, but y'all got to stick around for it. Hey, and there she is. What's going on, sweetheart? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good in yourself.
I'm doing well. Listen, I'm so excited to have you here. I always get excited when the ladies come join me, right? Because we got that female energy going on, right?
You have to.
Yes, yes. I mean, we love the fellas, but we got to have some of that girl time sometimes. So, without further ado, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is NiCole, and I was like, wait, that's all I got. But my name is NiCole, and I am in Jacksonville, originally from Georgia. Been doing music for a while, and have a new single called "Time" that you should get.
Yes, ma'am. And one thing that I really love about you, well, I love a few things about you. You have great energy, first and foremost. You bring a whole vibe, but you really take your music seriously. You actually invest in your craft. And that's one of the most important things within this music business. I actually had a meeting today with somebody who's very well known in this music business. And he said he goes by the 3 M's. You got to have the good music, you got to have the money to push it, and you got to have the marketing, right? So those are your 3 M's. If you don't have the music, the money, and the marketing, what you got? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You definitely are, you fall into all those categories. You invest in yourself, you got the good music, and you invest in that marketing. So I'm excited to have you here. We already got a lot of people tuning in. We got people coming in from Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. We got NiCole checking in from Jacksonville, Duval.
Yes.
Wherever you guys are checking in from, make sure you guys drop a comment in the comment section so she knows that you're here tuning in and supporting, because we certainly appreciate that. But without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it, because I really want people to understand your journey of how you got to where you're at right now. So you're originally from Georgia. What part of Georgia?
Columbus, about 2 hours away from Atlanta.
Oh, honey, I'm very familiar with Columbus. I love Columbus. They always show me love every time I go there. Definitely a great city full of talent. In fact, coming up in August, I'm hosting a luncheon panel that leads up to an award show out there. So you should come.
I will. I most definitely will come.
Yes, I'm going to send you all the details, and anybody else that's tuned in, it's in August. Please forgive me. I don't know the exact date, but I'll make sure I post the flyer and all that good stuff. It's going to be in Columbus, GA. So how was it growing up there?
It was pretty good. I mean, like, I came there probably around like 4th, 5th grade-ish. I've been doing music way, way before then. But growing up there was pretty good for me. I mean, I was the quiet kid, didn't really do anything. I know it's kind of hard to believe, because you're like, you're quiet. How you an artist and you quiet? But I was like one of those people that were really focused and was like really good about my craft and everything. But I've always had a love for music. Like, even in school, my favorite class was like, we finna go to music class. We finna learn something different.
I know that's right. Yeah,
And
I think it's really something that we know at a young age. Even like myself, I'm not an artist, but I'm heavily involved in the music business. I took choir. I sang at church. I remember my dad, he always put his headphones on, and I just used to love listening to music. And I think it's just something that comes to us early on, that we already know that this is going to be our path. Maybe we don't know, but it's already, the universe has already laid it out for us, right?
yes, like I tell people all the time, like I have stories of my parents, like, you are a music baby, you are a simple child, like you'll cry and stuff. We put on music, you're quiet. I was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And then I figured out I can sing at the age of 3. The songs that I shouldn't be singing, but they were on the radio, so it was okay. But yeah, I've always loved music. Music has always been my passion.
That is so dope. And shout out to Amber checking in. She says she's so happy for you. That's what I'm talking about.
Amber, she's so
Yes.
sweet.
You got to get that support, and it's love when it's, family or close friends when they support you. Because one thing that I can say about this music business, and I only speak on the music business because that's what we're both in, right? one of the hardest things to do is get people to support you.
Yes.
I'm just like, I guess maybe they don't see our vision the way we see it. So to them, it's like, whatever. But when you start leveling up and they see you doing stuff like this,
You're
a
like,
lot of people are like,
why you
okay,
been? You know, I always loved you. I knew
right,
you was gonna win.
right, exactly. Like, where you was at back then.
Yep. Yes, that's how I be
Shout
feeling.
out to Amber definitely for supporting that. That's love right there. So at a young age, you said you started singing at a young age.
Mhm.
Take us back. Do you remember some of the songs that you enjoyed singing?
So it was just a mixture. I was just a kid that loved music. I would sing anything. On that, I loved Aaliyah. Aaliyah was my, to be honest, Aaliyah was my
Uh,
first inspiration when it
Me
came down to
too.
doing music. So,
I loved her. Man, I'll tell you, I wish she was still alive. And honestly, I'm a little bit older, y'all. I was in an era when she was living and doing her thing. And I was like, I'm so blessed and happy that I was in that era of that such great music,
hmm
getting to experience it. Would she be somebody that if she was still here, God rest her soul, if she was still here that you would love to, do a song with or something?
yes, I love her. Like, to me, it was more of the grace of how she moved. It was never like a forced thing. And
Yes.
then, like, even watching one of her interviews, I was like, that's very relatable because a lot of people don't know, but I'm very shy. I'm a shy artist. So like with me, I don't like when I record. Like, when people recording, like, yeah, put the lights on me, do this, do that, and they like a lot of people in the room. I'm not like that. I get shy. I get very timid. So it has to be me, the person I'm recording, and then I cut the lights off, or like I have to be somewhere where you can't see me. Then I feel comfortable. If you're looking at me, I'm gonna get nervous.
Well, not only that, it becomes a distraction too.
hmm
If you're inside the recording studio trying to work on your next big single or album, and you got 10 people in there moving around, talking, drinking, it becomes a distraction. And it's like you have to be in a complete creative space when you're doing music, right?
Yes.
So in order to really put yourself in that element, you don't need or want a lot of people around. Like you want to be able to focus. I talk to a lot of artists and most of them say they don't want anybody but just them and their engineer there. And that's it.
hmm That's how I like.
That's catch the biggest vibe. So when you do get in the studio and create your music, what is your creative process? Do you already have stuff written before you get there, or do you get there and kind of put stuff together? How does your music come together?
So with me, I'm a writer. I've always been a writer. I just got better with my craft as I got older, but I've always been a writer. A lot of people don't know, but sometimes I write in my sleep. I know how crazy it sounds. I write in my sleep. Like I literally will write.
Whatever you're dreaming about.
Yes, it just come on me, and I'm like, oh wait, get up, I'm finna just paper to pen, paper to pen, and then that's how it flows for me. Like everything has to have order, and when it comes down to me, like actually writing, my hooks have to come first because that's what you're gonna hear the most. So I gotta make sure my hook
Right.
is there, and then
Yes, and then you build around it.
mm-hmm,
I hear a lot of artists say that their process is very similar. Like they'll be like, "Hey, I'm just driving down the street and I'll come up with a hook," and then they jot it down on their phone or something so they don't forget it.
mm-hmm,
And then when they get home or wherever, then they'll actually create the whole entire song around it. So I always like to ask that question because everybody might be a little bit different on how they actually come together with the song. So before, I know you said you started singing at a young age.
mm-hmm.
During that time, did you have any other admiration to be something else? A lot of people before music, they're like, "Oh, I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be this." Did you ever want to do anything else?
See, my heart was set. I told people when they were like, "What for career day? What do you want to be?" I said, "I'm a singer."
No,
I
that's right.
was with it. I was like, "Look, this is what I want to do for my life. I don't want nothing else. I want to be an entertainer. Like I think
Yeah.
I'm fine." So I was like, "I'm gonna be an entertainer."
Yes. You knew that at a young age. Like you already knew at a young age that I'm a superstar, y'all.
Yes. Like they had
So
talent shows. I'm for the talent shows, and I like you gonna see me. Like
I know that's right. Absolutely. Especially when you believe in yourself, even at a young age. I think even more so at a young age because you don't have no fear in your heart like that. So you're like, I could get out here and do whatever I want
Mhm.
unapologetically and don't care what other people may think.
Yes, I
Shout
told
out to Latricia checking in too.
her, hey.
Yeah, we got some support tuning in tonight. We absolutely love you guys and support you guys as well.
Always.
So about what period in your career did you really start taking it seriously though? Because we all come into this music business with a learning curve. We got to really learn the business and the paperwork side and the marketing side, etc. When did you really decide, okay, I got to get all this together because this is a business for me?
So for it to be really, really seriously, it was high school.
Okay.
When I was in middle school, I wrote my first rap. I wrote it. I still remember it to this day. But I wrote my first one because I remember hearing Nicki, and my brother was like, "Hey, listen to this girl," and I was like, "A girl? Okay," because Eve, Missy, all those, they weren't making music at that time anymore. So I
Right.
was like, a girl. So when I heard her and I heard bars, punchline, punchline, I was like, I could do that. I
I
could do
know that's
that.
right.
I could do that. So I would write. And then in high school, I was like, no, I want to do this. Like, I want to record. I want to drop my first song. I want to do this. I want to do that. So it went from me wanting to actually learn how to like write to where I'm like, I'm finna learn how to be a producer. I'm finna make beats. I'm finna mix and master. That ain't work out right because I don't have patience. So I'm just gonna stick to like writing and stuff. I'm great at that. I just don't have the ear for the other stuff. But that's when I really was like, yeah, I want to do this. And then from then on, it's like, okay, gotta get better, gotta get better, gotta get better. Gotta make sure I'm doing this, gotta make sure I'm doing that. So that's when I took it serious.
Listen, I know that's right, but at least you gave it an effort to learn that stuff because some artists don't ever even put any type of effort to learn like the engineering side.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I don't understand it either. My significant other, he's an audio engineer and he be in there on his Pro Tools and I'm just like, it looks like scribble to me. I'm like, what is all them lines and I'm just like, yeah, that's just I'm not set up for that. I think that for me personally, like, I don't know, sometimes my brain just don't move fast enough for that. I don't know what it is.
I'm the same way too. Like even when it comes down when people make their beats and stuff, I'm like, look, I don't know what they're doing, but I can. It sound like this, boom, 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 some. They're like 808. I said, yeah, I want that. I want a little bit of this. I want a little bit.
Right.
I can tell you what it is by sound, but I just don't know the right name for it. But you'll figure it
Right.
out.
Exactly. You can explain it to them. But you know what though? Like that's cool because you think about this. Look at a coach, right? They're not actually in there playing the game, but they can tell you how to play the game.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you're not actually making the beat, but you can tell them how you want it to sound. So
Mhm.
that's still an important part of the actual process coming together is you having that in your head and explaining to your producer, this is what I want. Put this here, put that there. I want a little bit of 808 here and I want a little bit more melodic beat. You know what I'm saying? So that's still an important process as well.
Mhm.
So you out in Jacksonville, which is one of my favorite cities.
Yeah.
Shout out to the whole Duval, man. Duval. I spent much time there. Of course, I'm from Tampa. I'm up here in the Atlanta area now, but Jacksonville is just such a beautiful city, and there's a lot of talent out there, right?
Yes.
Talk to us about what it's like out there right now, currently for independent artists like yourself that are coming up in the business.
So to be honest with you, I'm still learning. Jacksonville is still new on me because at the end of the day, I'm still Georgia.
I
So
know that's right.
I'm always gonna be Georgia. I tell people all the time, I'm always Georgia, no matter where I am. But
Facts.
from right now, from my perspective, is I've met a lot of great people, a lot of great talents. There's only like one studio that I recorded that's home to me, and that's Lowell Studios. Like that's like where I have to record it. Um, it's pretty good when you're looking at marketing wise because one thing that I love about Jacksonville is that there's so many styles. Like it's crazy. Like even in just Florida general. Like I just did a show
Right.
in Orlando and I was like, oh my gosh, like Florida is talented. Jacksonville is talented. And it's like if you it's kind of hard to describe it because it's so much energy. Like so many people reaching the same things. Sometimes you're gonna meet someone and they lead you to this person, and next thing you know, it's like a big circle, and I love it. It's a great environment.
It is. It really is. Like, I spent a lot of time going out there, going back and forth, for music stuff. And of course, shout out to Bigger Rankin. For many years, he did the Diamond Awards in Jacksonville. And it was always such a dope vibe. Like the whole city would come out to support, and people from, just all over Florida and other states would come support. I mean, I really miss it because it's beautiful down there. Like the beaches are nice, it's just a nice vibe, and there's just so much talent out there. And you ain't got to get into too deep, but did you move out there, musically, or was it more on a personal note?
It was a fresh start for me. I was like, you know what? I've been in Georgia too long. Like, let me do something different. I'm getting too
Understood.
comfortable.
Understood. That's what me too. I grew up in Tampa, and I stayed in Tampa my entire life until I was in my 30s, right? And then when I told my family I was moving to Georgia, they thought I was like leaving them. I'm like, I've given you over 30 years of my life. Let me go live now. So I'm a believer in that. Sometimes you need a fresh start. And a lot of times also, in order to put on for your city, you have to leave your cities, because you said you still Georgia at heart. Columbus is your roots. That's where you from, right?
Yes.
Now there's a lot of talent out there too now. Shout out to Columbus, GA, man. Like I've done a lot of events out there. When I first moved to Atlanta and I was doing showcases real heavy, was doing showcases out there. Man, honestly, like I didn't even really know a lot of people out there, and they was coming and supporting. I was just like, man, it felt so good. So that's why I say in August, when I'm hosting this panel, and they're doing a panel, and then they're doing a showcase, and then they have an award show. I really would love you to come with me, be one of my guests, because they gave me a little guest list and all that. Come with me and come network. That would be amazing.
Yes, because we love you in Columbus, because everybody does music. Like, have you ain't doing music right unless you know Tampa. Like, you don't know Tampa, then what you doing? Like, you gotta meet her. Everybody's like, what did she do at the time when you were really big doing showcases? Like, yeah, she do showcases. She has this going. She has this going. Link with Tampa, so everybody in Columbus just loves you.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that. And I definitely love Columbus as well. Like it's always been a vibe every time I went out there. So I can't wait to get out there. When I got invited to host this panel, I was so excited because at one point in time, I was doing showcases twice a week. And it was a good intro for me moving to the Atlanta area, because I'll tell you, like, majority of the people that I've made great connections with has either come from me being on radio or just moving to Atlanta doing these showcases. Like, and I was like, man, this is a whole vibe. But now, several years later, I'm like, okay, I want to scale back from that a little bit. I'm getting a little bit older. I don't want to be in the clubs as much.
I don't even want to be in the clubs like that myself. I only go to perform. Like, that's just
Right. Exactly. Like I did my 10-year anniversary for Industry's Most Wanted last night, and it was so amazing. But I did it as an earlier event. We started at 8 and we were done by like 11:30. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't trying to be out till 2 in the morning. I'm too tired for that. Shout out to everybody checking in too. We got a lot of people still tuning in through Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube. Y'all keep that vibes energy. Leave them comments to let us know that you're here. What are some of the things tell the people what you're working on right now?
Right now, I am working on more shows, more interviews, and then I'm working on more music. I can't really tell too much. I'm not one of the people like, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. But I can tell you that I have a lot of great things in the works. And when it comes out, you're going to be like, I knew I loved Cole. I knew I loved her.
Yes, I know that's right. And that's the thing about an artist. I got to take my jacket off. I'm getting hot. That's the thing about an artist, is that you have to just stay completely consistent with what you're doing. But that's with anything in life, right? Like, I always like to use the analogy. I would love to go to the gym once a month and have a flat stomach, and it don't work like that, right?
I wish.
I wish, you know what I'm saying? Like, but in order for you to see any type of elevation in anything you do in life, you have to stay consistent. And, as an artist, it's no different. What's keeping you motivated to stay consistent?
It's just the drive. It's like, I always say I'm hungry. I don't ever want to get too content to the point where I'm like, I don't have to do nothing else. Like, they know who I am, da da da. I always want to stay hungry. So with that, I'm always perfecting my craft because I want to see myself farther,
Yeah.
even when I get where I want to be, where I'm at, I want to be able to be that artist that actually help other people, not just for myself, but have it where I go through things to be like, okay, well, now it's time for me to, fall back a little bit where I can actually lead someone else. But that's what basically keeps me motivated to keep wanting to do music. And then a lot of it is not just for myself or wanting it for me. And I feel
Yes.
like if it's just for you, after a while, once you get where you want to be, that's gonna die because you're like,
Right. Right. Absolutely. So your passion is your music, which is
mm-hmm,
leading to your purpose in life, and that's to help other people.
mm-hmm,
And that's so beautiful because when your passion and your purpose come together like that, you're definitely on the right path. And God's gonna always make sure you're good. He's gonna make sure that you're always taken care of. What are some of the things that I'm big on laying a blueprint out, setting goals for yourself. If we could fast forward 2, 3 years from now, what will we catch you doing?
2, 3 years from now, you're gonna already see me on the screen. You're gonna see me with a lot of awards, Grammy.
Yes, baby. Yes.
And not only that, but you're gonna see me doing a lot of things, not only just music wise, but I plan on doing things like starting different foundations, getting involved with kids, helping them out. Um, just basically trying to find ways that I can be a blessing, but then also be at a point in my career where I'm experiencing more shows, more interviews, to where it's like my schedule is booked today. Like I ain't gotta work
Yes.
no more. I just do this full time.
Yes. Listen, and it will for sure happen. You just have to keep putting what you want out into the universe. Like you have to speak it into existence. I'm a big believer in that because everything that I've threw into the universe has come to fruition. Sometimes it might take a little while. Like I said to myself over 2 years ago, I said, I'm going to eventually land my podcast on TV. And just recently, it got picked up by 2 networks on Roku and Fire TV. And I was like, man, that's a blessing because I talked about this, but it took a little time, but it happened. So keep saying that I'm going to be doing this full time. It's like you have to have those positive affirmations in your life every single day. You wake up and say, I am going to be productive today. I
Mm,
am going to achieve all my goals today, because I just posted on my story earlier today. If life's not going the way you want it to, you have to check yourself. Stop pointing the finger and pointing the thumb and be like, okay, I got to check my attitude. What am I projecting out there? If I'm projecting negative energy, then
mhm,
everything around you is going to go bad. People be posting negative stuff on social media. I
mm,
mean, when you put that stuff out in the universe, that's what comes back to you. It's just called karma, right?
yeah.
So, like just keep, that positive attitude and trust me, everything that you want and you desire, it definitely will come. It might take a little longer than you want to. Nothing comes when we want it to ever, you know what I'm saying? Um,
Oh,
who
congrats on it too. Like congratulations. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Listen, I appreciate that. That's why I got to get you to come up here to do an in-person interview with me because now they're all syndicated on two TV channels on Roku and Fire TV. So you got to come up here and come sit
Yeah,
next to me right here.
most definitely. I'm like, hey y'all.
I know that's right. We got a record of yours that we're gonna check out tonight. We got quite a few people checking in. Shout out to everybody once again who's tuning in with us. Whatever digital platform you're watching us on, drop a comment. Let her know that you're here, that you're supporting. Because we appreciate that. As we said earlier, getting support is one of the hardest things to do in this music industry. But before we get into your song, let's close this out with doing 3 things, right? I said 2. I said 3, but I did this. I can count, y'all. I promise.
It's okay. You know what you meant. You said 3.
The first thing is tell everybody where they can follow you and keep up with you on all your social media.
Okay, well, on social media, you can find me on Instagram at NiCole NiCole underscore NiKKNI. Hey. And then I seen a message come through. And then also as well, another way you can find me is on Twitter as well too. It is the same NiCole, and then underscore NiKKNI.
Awesome. So that's good that you're on multiple platforms. I tell artists, some of them be like, I only use Instagram. Well, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all of them have their own audience. That's why I live stream on so many platforms at the same time, because not everybody uses the same platform. So that's good that you're on multiple platforms.
Yes,
Um,
I got to do my YouTube and all that, but I'm on there all as well. It's just the same thing, the same name.
right. And that's also an important part of it too. You don't want to have NiCole on one and Mrs. Whatever on the other. Like you gotta have the same thing across the board, especially as an artist, because you want people to be able to find you.
Yeah.
So that's good that you got your social media all tied into the same name. Who do you want to shout out to?
I want to shout out to, of course, my little brother that just checked in and said, "Hey, sister." I want to shout out to my fans, my family, basically everybody for being here. Just being with us at the moment. You, of course, because you let me be on here.
I appreciate you being here. I love your energy.
But just everybody that I work with. That's all I got. Very simple.
I know that's right. Well, before we get into the last thing before the music, for anybody that's supporting you, your fans, your friend, your family, what would you want to say to them right now?
I will honestly say thank you so much. You don't know, as being an artist, how much is so hard, and sometimes, like, even as an artist, you struggle. Like, okay, do I want to do this anymore? Do I want to take a break? There's always a constant battle within your
Yeah.
head because you feel like you should be farther than where you want to be. But I thank y'all for keeping my vibes high and always having something positive to say, even when I'm like, y'all, I'm stressing out, I'm finna cry, because I am a crybaby. So I'm finna cry. Y'all like, what y'all doing? Like, you gonna cry, but you still gotta do what you gotta do. So
That's right.
I thank them for being so supportive, and I love y'all so much. Y'all just don't really understand how much I love you, and it's just so welcoming.
Yes. I already know women are just emotional, period. It don't
Yeah.
take much to make a woman cry. And then men be like, why you crying? Because I'm a woman and I can.
Let me react to this motion real quick. I'm gonna be all right. Just let me get this out.
Right. And then we feel better afterwards. Definitely. The last thing we got to do before we check out your song is we are on the industry's most wanted podcast. So this is the most important question of the whole night. You got to let everybody know what makes you the industry's most wanted.
Because I'm different. I know a lot of people say I'm different. I'm
I'm
this, I'm that. Look, that's the first thing that came in my head when I said it.
Me too.
But no, honestly, what makes me most wanted is that I have an incredible vibe. Not only that, but it's like in my music, I put my whole heart and my soul in anything that I'm feeling. You're gonna feel it, and it's not always like, oh, let's go ahead and vibe this type of way. Let's always have a hype moment. Some moments it's like, okay, well, let's think about what we're doing. Let's be positive today. Let's do something amazing today.
Yes.
And not only that, but I'm just a great person around. Like, even if I don't know you and you inbox me and say, "Hey Cole, like, I love your music," da da da, I'm always gonna say something positive back to you, regardless, because that's
Yes.
who I am. Because I just don't operate with negativity. So
Nah, absolutely not. You do have a great attitude all the time. And you're very engaging on social media too, which is very important as well. I love that.
I try to be. I be telling people, I be like, "Who did I post today? I did not post today. Like, what's going on?" And like, I know a lot of times, like on my stories, they say, "You seem like you're so interested." I'm boring. I just look interesting. I promise you. If you was to sit with me, you'll be like, "Cool, like, what you doing? This is what I do on a regular. I don't do nothing." So
So the song that I have for you today is called Time.
yes.
Tell us about it. And when I say tell us about it, I want all the details. Who produced
Okay.
it? Where did you record it? Is it out on the DSPs? Give us all that information.
Okay. So I recorded this song honestly last year. I thought about it. I was like, okay, I was thinking something. I hit my auntie. My auntie makes all my beats. Shout out to my
Okay.
auntie India because she's so amazing. She does
That's
everything like I need
so.
to do it. So I called her. I was like, hey auntie, I need you to make a beat for me. And she said, okay. Told her what I wanted. I was like, okay, boom. And then after that, it was like, okay, she sent it over. I was like, okay, this got a little bit saucy sauce on it.
Okay, she did that. Shout out, Auntie.
Yes. So I went in the studio. I record. The only place I record in Jacksonville is Level Studios. Like, I love them. Like, it's like a family thing. Every time I'm there, I'm like, hey, and they, hey, you know.
That's
And
that's important.
yes, and the crazy thing is I don't record. I'm not like most artists. I don't record like on a back-to-back basis. Like mine is everything has a plan. Just to put that out. But I went in the studio, I felt the song, and I was like, after I got to recording the song, I was like, it's a hit. And shout out to Eli. Eli always records me at Levels. So me and him were talking, and I got out the booth, and I was like, it's a hit. I got a hit. So then I was like, we record everything. I went to my brother. I let certain people hear, and they were like, Cole, I love time. And I was like, y'all don't play this song 500 times. So you would think that I'd be like, oh my gosh, what you said? What you said? And then shout out to my brother too, because he always makes my graphics. So when you see time, the graphic, my brother did that. The thing is with my brother that does graphics, I just say, this is what I want. I never get what I want majority of the time because he's gonna do what he want to do. I just let him. But I just stop trying to, tell him what to do.
Right. Let him use his creative mind behind it.
He's gonna do that anyway, because I'd be like, this is what I said, and he'd be like, okay, but this is my vision. I'd be like, okay, that's fine. As long as you got the little things I'm looking for, that's fine. But I recorded it. I held on to the track for a minute so I could actually figure out what I wanted to do with it. Finally released it. It's on all major platforms. The video is out as well too, so you can find it on YouTube. I always keep something. If you follow me on Instagram, NiCole_NikkiNi. I have my link tree on there where you can find everything on there with social media. It's on all platforms on it as well too. And it just released today, so go ahead and get it. Like, what you doing? Why you don't like good music or something? Like, go get it.
Listen, I know that's right. And I'm premiering it here first, y'all. I break records, right?
You do all the time.
Yes, ma'am. You dig. So we are about to get into this. Anything else you got before we check out the song?
Oh, yes. And what time is about? So time with me, there's different ways. Like everybody has the love language. Me is spending time. So when I wrote this song, I thought about at the time I kind of had a significant other. That's another story. But when I wrote this song, it was basically a person that really cares about you and them finding time. Like people can buy you things. That's cool. That's nice. But having that time, that intimacy time, to where you're actually learning each other, to actually enjoying each other's company, even when you're not doing nothing. It's like, so do you got time for me? Yes or no at this point? I want to see you. You gonna come or you not? So that's
right.
what this is about.
Listen, that's facts, because one thing about relationships or just stuff in general, but we'll say relationships, people make time for the things they want.
Yes.
So if somebody wants to be with you, they're going to make time for you. If they're not making time, that means that their mind's somewhere else, and that might be the time for you to exit the building.
Just cut it off. Cut it off.
Period. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got time to be wasting out here. You know what I'm saying? You're a beautiful young lady. Like, please, we ain't wasting no time on nobody, right?
It's almost summer anyway. You know what I'm saying? Get right.
Yes, I know that's right. and you out there in Jacksonville, right? There's some option, baby. Believe it. You got a fresh start. So we're about to go ahead and check out the song. We got a lot of people still tuned in across the board. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Thank you guys for tapping in tonight. If you're here to see Cole, I'm TampaMystic. This is my podcast, Industry's Most Wanted. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. But we're about to go ahead and check out this record. Introduce it for us.
So, you guys, you're going to be checking out a great record today. Great vibe. You're going to be checking out Time by me.
Let's go.
Look, I kind of know what you're used to, but every now and then it's good to switch it up. Tonight I'm gonna throw it like a picture. Kid be so pretty, would have thought it was a picture. I know it's been a day, I can tell that you miss her. So I'ma bust it open like a freak, filling the gaps, this is a leak. Cause all of me wants all of you, attraction, and all of me wants all of you, distraction.
It's a vibe, y'all.
Boy, I'm so here for it. My disc will take off your shirt and just be here for it. There's a meeting in my bedroom. So tell me if you even got time. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. Do you got time? For me, I'm yelling, do you got? I just wanna love on you. I just wanna love when you say, who, do you got time? Got time. For me, I'm yelling, do you got time? I just wanna love on you. I just wanna love when you say, who. Time is of the essence. Might as well start undressing. Cause you know what you info steady fucking with an info. So where you at? Apply pressure. See, I don't do this often and you special. Let me fill all your vessels. Cause all of me wants all of you, attraction. And all of me wants all of you, distraction. And ooh, boy, I'm so here for it. My disc will take off your shirt and just be here for it. There's a meeting in my bedroom. So tell me if you even got time. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. Do you got time? For me, I'm yelling, do you got? I just wanna love on you. I just wanna love on you. Say, who, do you got time? Got time. For me, I'm yelling, do you got time? I just wanna love on you. I just wanna love on you. Say, who. Do you got time? Do you got time? Do you got time? Do you got? I said, do you got time?
Do you got time?
Do you got time?
I love that. You've got such a sweet voice too. You know, like you kind of give me that Michelle Lay vibe.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, that's a positive thing because I absolutely love her. She just got that cute, like soulful voice, and I was always a fan of hers. Like, and you kind of give me that vibe. So, like, wow, I love that record. That's one of those records that I think a lot of women can relate to, and men too. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of the relationship type songs. Like, look for me or not.
Yeah.
I just love the way you delivered it.
Thank you.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Industry's Most Wanted. Again, anything else that you have before we get up out of here?
No, I just hope everybody does something amazing today, tomorrow, and keep doing, what it is that makes you happy. That's all I want. And then for you to be a fan of me, that's what I want too.
I know that's right. Make sure you go follow her on social media. Make sure you subscribe to her YouTube. Like those little things right there, they're free. They might only take a second of your time. Make sure if she's got videos that you give them a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. That don't cost you nothing but a couple seconds of your time. Same thing with Instagram. If she posts something on Instagram, like her post. She's very engaging. She likes my stuff. I like her stuff. It's like that's the type, because that type of stuff, honestly, I'm about to get off on a tangent real quick. When you're engaging on social media, that helps your algorithm, right? If you go on social media and you never engage with people and you just kind of are on there, people are never going to see your stuff when you post it. You have to be engaging with other people. You have to be social on social media. That's what it's about. So I say that to say this, make sure you follow her. You know what I'm saying? Stay up. The song is out. Go stream it, download it, buy it, share it, all that stuff. run the video up too.
Yes.
Well, thank you once again, everybody tuning in tonight. We about to get up out of here. It's your girl, TampaMystic, Industry's Most Wanted. You dig?